Hello, everybody. Welcome into SEC Football Media Days. It is day 2 from Atlanta in the College Football Hall of Fame. Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy, in association with our good friends at Yellowhammer News and yellowhammernews.com. How many years has this been, Barry?
I'm trying to figure. I think we're close to 30 together.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of times when I was here before, but you and me, I want to say this is 29 for us.
I think so.
And we've just about got it figured out. We just about have got the entire routine committed to memory. So we've got a lot going on. Like John said, this is day 2 of SEC Media Days. Yesterday, you had Vanderbilt, you had South Carolina, you had Ole Miss. Yesterday, you also had Vanderbilt. And it was a good start.
Yeah.
It was a good start. Here's the Cliff's Notes. I doubt you're going to hear anything earth-shattering from the coaches, from the players. You might have a media member get loose about talking about Nick Saban's coaching future, something like that. But as far as the coaches and the players, there's going to be, it's basically feature stuff. Yep. What do you think about Coach Kiffin? And Austin Simmons had some good stuff on him. Well, he likes to fish, and he likes hot yoga. That was Austin Simmons, is a quarterback for Ole Miss.
I got a story about that, Barry.
Hot yoga. What's the difference between hot yoga and regular yoga, except the level of dress?
There used to be a workout place called Orange Theory. Maybe there still is. I know there was one in Montgomery. Auburn's hosting Ole Miss a couple of years ago. Lane Kiffin leaves the team hotel at 5:30 in the morning to go get an Orange Theory workout in before the team headed to Auburn. One of my friends worked out with him one day. It's hot in there. They're sweating. They're going at it. Kiffin seems to like that kind of stuff.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
I mean, I did that this morning just to get over here.
Yeah, boy.
I don't know. I mean, I like to work out. I like to stay in shape, but I also need my 8 hours. You
better believe it.
But anyway, there's that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to hear feature stuff, media talking to media, talking season. But down there, we're on the second floor. You can probably see underneath our capacious Longshore and McKnight, Yellowhammer News, Bud Light banner with our Twitter handle and our Instagram handle. Right below us is the big print media room.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is large, and over here is the podium, is the stage. Big SEC backdrop. We'll try to get Guerin Jr. to take a picture just to give you some perspective on it in a little bit. No, Philip's not sleeping down there.
Not yet.
No,
not yet.
He's probably sleeping, but he's not got.
What you think about that shirt, Barry?
Wow, John was here yesterday. We were here separately working on equipment and stuff like that, and it was I didn't see him. John did, which is kind of, I feel like there may need to be a restraining order or something. But John, clicked me a quick picture of him surreptitiously, and I was like, wow.
He was here.
Yeah.
So Barry, here's what I got.
This is what we'll see today.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see a bunch of different people. We'll see from Auburn, of course, Hugh Freeze will be here. We'll also see quarterback Jackson Arnold, defensive end Keldrick Falk, offensive lineman Connor Liu. But you're not going to hear them say anything crazy. So this is not the venue for that.
Except for yesterday, as you mentioned, Barry, earlier, one select media member said Nick Saban wants to coach again.
Well, yeah, but from the players, you're not going to hear any of that.
No, you're not. Now, Diego Pavia was pretty spirited, good look yesterday, had the tuxedo rocking.
Nice.
He's a confident guy.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk a little bit more about Vanderbilt in some detail. Believe it or not, we actually are. But I thought it was, you're right. These guys have been prepped. They know what to say, what not to say. Same thing will happen today. Saw the Auburn players at the hotel last night when they arrived. I mean, they've been prepped as well for this morning's appearance. But I don't, as we talked about it, Barry, I don't think we're going to see anything earth-shattering or hearing anything earth-shattering. I think Commissioner Greg Sankey, who we'll have on later this week, pretty much just hit it on the head. Look, whether we play 8 games or 9 games. Big deal. So what? I mean, I don't think any other conference wants to play an SEC type schedule every year, whether it's 8 or 9 games. And I agree, because I think the bottom half of the Big Ten is weak. You look at a Vanderbilt, you look at what Mississippi State did years ago with Dak Prescott. Kentucky's been hot over the last couple of seasons. So these teams that are normally in the bottom, they can find ways to get back up there and be competitive and knock some people off and make some noise. You don't see that very often out of Minnesota, Northwestern. Indiana was hot this year. I'll see how good they are this year.
Has Purdue been really good since Drew Brees?
Come on. Gary Danielson. How about that one? Pull that one out. But as I listen to Greg Sankey, Barry, I know I've been on this high horse. I know I've been stumping for it. But you know what? Would I rather play 9 conference games? Yeah, sure I would. But if we stick with 8, I'm fine with it, because I think Sankey really tried to hammer home the point yesterday. Hey, our league plays 8, but we also play a big-time Power 5 non-conference game, and some of our schools play 2 of them. He mentioned that twice. So I've said it before, as long as the SEC is going to play at least 1, and some are elected to play 2,
right?
Quality non-conference games, I'm all in. That's fine. Then only play 8. I'm good with that. And I also think Sankey said, we don't really care how many teams in the playoff, because if we have 4, we're going to get 2 of the teams. And if we have 8, we're probably going to get 4 of those. So I think he feels comfortable that the SEC is going to be very well represented no matter how many teams are in the playoff.
I think he's working behind the scenes, though. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah, we may have media members, former Saban quarterbacks, that'll get loose and say some stuff and everything and profess surprise that it has gone viral.
Yeah.
But in terms of the players, not much. Not a whole lot about that. And from Sankey, he can talk in front of the media, as he did yesterday morning, for 45 minutes. And at the end of it, you're thinking, somebody says, hey, I miss Sankey. What was the gist of the whole thing? Likes the league.
Yeah.
Thinks he'll be strong this year. Yeah, but what did he have to say about, I think he said the words. I know the words came out of his mouth, but I couldn't tell you what he said. They're going to be players like that. They're going to be coaches like that. So, don't look for breaking stuff. What we're after is feature stuff, preview stuff, getting some of them on camera, getting some of our compatriots and colleagues in the business with their opinions and stuff. And believe me, Theotis asked the question on the River Region Straw chat line. We're here. The Omni Hotel is adjacent. We are in the College Football Hall of Fame.
Yes, we are.
Below, there's seating for the media for about 250. You've got special sets for the SEC Network, special sets for, Marty and McGee. There must be. I mean, the entire ring around here is absolutely jam-packed. What we call digital drive.
Yeah.
Radio stations, podcasts, including ours. Radio stations that have podcasts, live podcasts and stuff. And I mean, it is absolutely packed.
It is packed here in the College Football Hall of Fame. You're not kidding, Barry. And even next door, Jason, at the Omni, the headquartered hotel, there's a lot of going on over there as well. We did our TV show last night. I hope everybody checked that out on CBS 8 and ABC 32 with myself and Lindsey Bonner. Did that from over there, looking out over Centennial Park. That was kind of neat. And the Beyonce concert had just ended. So everybody is walking down the street in their Beyonce costume. What's up with the cowgirl outfit?
Can I tell you the story? Because I got in early yesterday, checked in our hotel. We're right next to the Omni. Yeah. We're on Centennial Park, and checked in at the hotel, and I'm in line. And my observation, there were in line in front of me about 9 black ladies with cowboy hats on.
Yes, and boots.
And I'm thinking, all right, there must be some. I mean, it's like Mary Kay or something like that. Maybe it's a convention or something. And they're all, hey, are you going? Oh, yeah, well, have fun. And I'm thinking, what in the world is this? Go up the elevator with 3 of them. Black ladies wearing cowboy hats.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking, what in the world's going on? Of course, I'm not the one to ask. Longshore would have been, hey, ladies, what's happening? But I'm not the one to ask. Come back down, And by that time, to come over here.
Yeah.
By that time, there must have been 70 ladies in the lobby, black ladies wearing cowboy hats.
Well,
I'm thinking, what in the? I go down here and I'm waiting at the crosswalk. And there's all these other ladies. They're walking here and there. So I'm asking a buddy of mine, I said, hey, man, what's up with the black ladies in the cowboy hats? And he says, oh, it's the Beyonce concert going on, I guess, at Mercedes-Benz.
I believe that was it might have been the last night.
It's the 4th of 5, they said. She's here all week.
All week at Mercedes-Benz. They are packing it in.
Unbelievable. And we went and ate at a restaurant on this road, whatever this road is. And you had those picture windows out there, and we're sitting there eating. And there's ladies with cowboy hats going. They weren't all black ladies.
But they were men, they were women.
Wearing cowboy hats. And I am thinking this is so
young girls, older girls.
So we got here where we are. Right, and we're right in the epicenter of it. You got the Major League All-Star game here in Atlanta. That's tonight. Home run derby last night. You got SEC Media Days with over 1,000 media members in attendance on the College Football Hall of Fame. And you got the Beyonce concert.
It's amazing.
Holy smokes, it is nuts.
It was interesting, Barry, but as we were setting up to do TV last night, it was kind of quiet. I thought, man, this is kind of quiet for Atlanta. That concert let out, and it was woof. I mean, it was a great backdrop for us because there are a lot of people mingling around. You can see in the shot that we had from over there. But, a lot of the big, CBS, ESPN, some of the big guys are over there. They've got specialized little one-on-one rooms that they do. But you're right. It's spread out from the Omni here to the College Football Hall of Fame. A lot going on. Of course, 4 teams yesterday, LSU, Ole Miss, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt. We're going to give you some insights and thoughts about what we heard and saw with them. Today, of course, Auburn, Georgia, Tennessee, and Texas. Of course, the big buzz, Barry, is, Arch Manning. Everybody wants to see Arch Manning.
Today.
I'm sure he'll have some handlers moving him around from place to place. But everybody wants to see him. I wonder if that's going to take some of the, the buzz away from
the attention.
Georgia and Kirby Smart. I mean, Hugh Freeze, you got to know, Barry, they are media guys salivating wanting to ask Freeze about his golf game. I'm not one of them, by the way, just to let you know.
When we talked with Jason Caldwell last week, and he said he ain't playing any more golf than he ever has. Yeah. The only problem is they won 5 games last year. He can play, 3 rounds a weekend.
Sure.
If he's winning every game.
Barry, it's kind of like, as we've talked about, if you're like leading the sales force and you're hitting your quota, you play as much golf as you want to.
That's exactly right. Think anybody was messing with Pete Rose on his betting when he was getting 4,000 hits? Nope. He retired. It's like, hey, now he's up a little bit. I've learned many rules of the world from John. In our years together, he's a lot more streetwise than I am. And one of the best is you can get away with a lot if you're producing for somebody. Sales, hit, wins. They'll.
I mean, I know what you're saying, and there's no really other way to put it. Getting away with a lot.
I don't know if I'd call it getting away with. I mean,
that's kind of what it is.
No doubt.
But I mean, it is. What do they say in cards? Got to call a spade a spade.
So
there they are.
Hugh Freeze would be playing exactly the right amount of golf if they hadn't sleptwalked through the Oklahoma game.
Yeah.
They would have thought this is he just needs to let off a little steam like Tuberville and duck hunting. If they win, if they start out with 4-0, 3-1, people won't be talking about how much golf he plays.
Yeah, they certainly would not. You are exactly right about that. I do want to give a compliment. The coffee is outstanding here at the Omni.
I never drink coffee. This is tea, and it's outstanding.
Yeah.
We have got a great location. We're upstairs in the College Football Hall of Fame. This means a lot to me because we are right by the Carlos Alvarez jersey, number 45, a hero of mine for the Florida Gators when I was a little kid. You've got breakfast right there. The breakfast room is, right there.
Oh, yeah.
John's got his coffee right there. There's a restroom over there.
Oh, beautiful.
Who has got it better than us?
Well, I'm telling you, we do have a prime location. You're right about that. And we're going to have we have a lot of scheduled guests that we're going to be getting out throughout the day today and tomorrow that we'll bring back to you in the days and weeks leading up to the start of the college football season. Certainly scheduled with some guests today that there again, you know how this works, folks. It's kind of fluid. It's on the fly. You kind of got to work around a lot of other people's schedules, but we certainly can do that. Not a problem.
Yep.
Want to hear from you on our River Region Straw chat. Certainly see Chris the Bammer has chimed in today as well. Yes, PM is here. As a matter of fact, I took a picture of him and sent it to Barry yesterday.
Yeah, he did. He said it was from the back. He looked like he was sleeping. John could not confirm.
Could not confirm.
But we've got a lot going on. We're live for 2 hours, and then we are looping throughout the day, and we're going to be busy. We've got a lot of content coming your way, so let's take a break. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight at the College Football Hall of Fame, downtown Atlanta. It's SEC Football Media Days in association with Yellowhammer News. It's Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light.
Now, through July 31st, take advantage of the Quadruple Zero event at Stivers Ford in Montgomery. 0% APR for up to 48 months. 0 down payment. 0 payments for 90 days and 0 cost for maintenance for 2 years or 24,000 miles. The Quadruple Zero event offer is available on select 24 and 25 model F-150s, Explorers, Expeditions, Broncos, Mustangs, and Escapes. Stop by Stivers Ford at 4000 Eastern Boulevard in Montgomery for more information. Stivers Ford, where Price sells cars and trucks.
On the basketball court, the soccer pitch, or even the golf course, your crew brings their best not just for the win, but for that post-game celebration. When victory tastes like Michelob Ultra, it's worth every drop of sweat. And if you don't win, you'll still get the beer. It's just on you. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. Superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information. It is day 2. The Auburn Tigers are certainly on the docket along with Georgia, Tennessee, and Texas.
The early morning is Auburn and Georgia. The afternoon is Tennessee and Texas. Georgia, Jay Allen, Gunnar Stockton, the quarterback, who subbed in late last year. That's what the Georgia fans are saying. If Carson Beck had been healthy, we would have won the national championship. Dalen Everett. Auburn will bring Keldrick Fald and Connor Liu to the program. So there's a lot to like about that. We're scrambling around getting some input from some other people. We've got guest stuff set up and all that. So we're underway with all of this. And yeah, I do think Auburn will be not overwhelmed, but will be they will not have as much resonance today because they're with Georgia and Texas. But hey, got to be somebody, you know. I mean, if it wasn't Georgia and Texas, it would be Alabama and Tennessee. So you know, I mean, they've got to create their own buzz.
Yeah, they do. And you know, but Georgia and Texas being here on the same day, Barry, I mean, those are the two teams that were, of course, in the SEC championship game last year. So there's a lot of hype between these two teams. A lot of people think they'll be back in Atlanta. facing off for the championship later this season as well. So we'll see how that plays out with them. But yeah, I think Auburn's going to get their moment in the sun. Don't get me wrong. I think Hugh Freeze is pretty charismatic, and he's never been afraid to really say what's on his mind.
Yeah.
And I think yesterday, a couple of things that caught my attention. Brian Kelly at LSU. I didn't realize, I guess, till I heard it. Well, yeah, I guess it does sound about right. They have, since Brian Kelly's been in Baton Rouge, they have yet to win a opening game.
Is that right?
They have lost every opener since Brian Kelly has been there. They open at Clemson. And he talked about the emphasis of, really winning right out of the gate, start off on the right foot. It's going to be kind of hard to do in Clemson. But after that, Barry, to me, it's a 2-game season. I think LSU is at Ole Miss and they're at Alabama. To me, that's the only 2 games after the Clemson game that I think they might have some trouble with. And I think LSU's got a really good opportunity to go 10-2. If they go 10-2, I can see them making the college football playoff. Obviously, their quarterback's got to quit throwing interceptions. That was a bad problem last year. He just turned it over too much.
And inopportune times. Here's what I see. And again, this is LSU from yesterday, and Brian Kelly. There's some LSU fans who aren't particularly happy with him. But then again, they won 9 games last year. I do agree with you about this, and I didn't realize it until you said it. But, they lose last year to USC. Should not have lost that game. I watched that from beginning to end. They got beat by a quarterback named Miller Moss, who was supposed to be, everybody's aching to root for a USC quarterback. Oh, this is the guy. Well, he wasn't the guy. And they kind of felt like for the last 3 years, they've been immediately just trying to scrabble up the hill and make up some ground. This one that they've got coming up at Clemson, I do believe this has a chance to be his best team, even better than the Jaden Daniels team. I do think this has the chance to be his deepest, most talented team. He did really well in the portal, things of that nature, but he hasn't done it to the level that LSU wants him to do it. This has got to be it. And when he gets going, if he gets a start against Clemson, here's what I respect in September. A lot of people don't. I do. Here's his schedule. At Clemson, Louisiana Tech, in-state school, then Florida in Baton Rouge, can't lose that one, and then Southeastern Louisiana. Right here in my pocket, Southeastern Louisiana. $20 bill. If John can tell me the mascot.
Oh, the mascot.
Or the location.
The mascot.
Of Southeastern Louisiana University. They are in.
The Monarchs.
They are in Hammond, Louisiana.
Hammond.
Which is
on the way to Baton Rouge.
Which is the turnoff. You're either, when you go through Hammond, you're either going to Baton Rouge or you got to make that turn on 10 to go to New Orleans.
That's right.
And they are the Lions.
The Lions.
So those are their first 4 games.
I
got to respect a guy who yesterday, in front of all the media, said, yeah, we're playing 2 in-state non-conference games.
Yeah.
If we're going to spend money, to get those teams into our stadium, why not?
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com.
All right, man, grab a Budweiser and take a knee. It is the best.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information. Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com. Okay, here we are back live at SEC Football Media Days 2025, Longshore and McKnight. Bryan Matthews, AuburnSports.com, going to join us here momentarily, get his thoughts about Auburn being on the docket today. Understand we had a little audio issue. I want to make sure people heard my stance on Brian Kelly and LSU.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. LSU's been doing it. Barry, I don't know if you remember, I asked Nick Saban that same type question about Alabama playing in-state schools because he did it when he was at LSU.
Nothing wrong with that.
His answer was, I don't make the schedule. Mal Moore does. Real quick, to the point, boom, move on. Don't ask me again about it. So right then and there, I knew they ain't playing anybody in-state. And there again, I think Troy is a tougher foe. I think South Alabama, quite honestly, is. I'm surprised Auburn's playing them. Auburn's played UAB, Jackson State. That's kind of their deal. If they want to do it, fine. I don't want to play any of them. Quite honestly, I mean, I want 12 great games, big boys, but I know that's not going to happen. But there again, LSU, I guess they in a better situation being the only big dog in that state where you got several in a smaller state like Alabama. But that I don't ever see that happen. I don't even know why we discuss it anymore. But it's good for Brian Kelly. You know, that's a good talking point, I guess.
Well, let's see if we can get okay, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
We got Bryan Matthews here with us. Bryan, can you at least hear us?
I can hear you good. How about y'all?
Okay,
yeah,
good. We might have to just keep it with your face on our video for a little while, if that's all right.
Well, I'd like to apologize to everybody watching right now, then, but yeah, that's fine.
So, what are the key things that you think Hugh Freeze is going to have to deal with today? The questions that he and Connor Lew and Keldrick Falk and Jackson Arnold will be asked or should be asked?
Well, we spoke with you last night, and a lot of the questions were very similar to what we've talked to him about for the last couple of weeks: NIL, revenue sharing, recruiting. Why Auburn is not being aggressive, going after kids like other schools are. So I think that's going to be a big part of Hugh Freeze's, interview here and question answering sessions. I think for Auburn players, I think it'll be more focused on, can Auburn take the next step forward? Can they have a winning season for the first time in 5 seasons, right? And is this team ready to start winning some games and start competing in the top half of the SEC?
Brian, was there any clarification on this August 1st date? That seems to be a day on the calendar that people have kind of pointed to, that either A, something magical is going to happen, or B, we'll have a better understanding of really how we're supposed to be recruiting.
I don't think anything magical is going to happen August 1st. I think that's just the first day that offers can be put in writing as far as revenue sharing and NIL. And I just think it's going to be a process after August 1st to see, what other schools put in writing to these recruits that they've made these offers to verbally, and how well those offers make it through NIL Go. And then you've also got, if you're reading the news here lately, you've got plaintiff's attorney in house, you've got other NIL collective folks threatening to sue. So it looks like this whole thing could be on the verge of blowing up, or at least being tested, in the courts at the very least. So I just don't think this thing is close to being done. And I don't think August 1st is a date that anything other than it being a day on the calendar is really going to change much for Auburn.
Bryan Matthews, AuburnSports.com. With the Baylor game looming in about a month and a half right now, can you kind of preview what that matchup feels like to you in terms of importance, in terms of really everything, in terms of challenge, all of that?
Hey, there you guys are.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, now we issue the apology. Yeah, everybody having. Yeah,
you got 1,000 people on one internet system. That's kind of tough.
I would say it's vitally important. One of the biggest opening games, that I've covered in my Auburn career. Auburn can't afford to lose this game, and it's a true road game. Baylor has an explosive offense returning. They feel like they have a team that can compete, for the Big 12 title, maybe be a playoff team. And, Auburn, this is their first test with a new quarterback, new offensive tackles, trying to take that step forward. This is a really, really big game for Auburn. If they were to lose it, they're staring at potentially 2-4, because their opening 2 SEC games are at Texas, or at Oklahoma, at Texas A&M. And then they got Georgia, who I'm sure will be a top 5 team, at home. So you don't want to start 2-4, have a recruiting class somewhere in the 60s or 70s, and have a coach that, has had 2 consecutive losing seasons, rolling into October like that. That's just not a good place to be.
Brian, you hear Coach speak a lot. You're going to hear it here at this event. I understand that Coach Freeze last night, when he was speaking to the group, the media that was gathered there, it was an ambush event, really talked about the roster and how confident he is and how much he likes this roster. And certainly this is year 3. He's recruited 2 years prior to this. In hearing him say that and reading the accounts of what he was talking about, he certainly comes across as a guy that seems a little more confident this year than he was the prior 2. And to me, I'm thinking, okay, is this a 9-3 team? Is this maybe a 10-2 team? I mean, he seems to be pretty pleased with the hand that he's been dealt for this upcoming season.
I mean, I think Auburn could be that team. They got to go out there and get it done. Hugh Freeze is not a coach that's into a lot of that coach speak, right? He's just a little bit different, and that he says things. Sometimes they upset Auburn fans because they're not as positive as you want them to be. Other times, he can give you some real insight on what he feels about this team. I think one of the reasons he really likes this roster is because the receiver room. I think Hugh Freeze loves a great passing offense. He loves great receivers. He's put some in the NFL. And Auburn's got a really, really good receiving room, and those guys are playmakers. They're good players. And I think he feels better about the quarterback room too. It's been totally redone, and I think he feels like he's got some guys that are better, are more capable of getting the ball down the field and stretching it out and making better decisions in clutch moments. So we'll see how that works out on the field come August 29th. And I feel like offensive line wise, that's been a real issue for Auburn offensively. Offensive tackles especially has been tough, and going out and get Murphy and Xavier Chaplin, I think that's really helped out that unit a lot, and I think that's why he feels much better about the offense going into year 3.
Resonates to me that you're talking about the quarterbacks making better decisions. Let's expand that into student athletes making better decisions.
Yeah.
Todd Pettiford, already John Cohen, he's here, and he's beginning to entertain questions. He certainly entertained some last night at the ambush event about Todd Pettiford. What's the backstory? What's the bottom line there, Brian?
Well, I mean, he made a mistake, obviously, and that's not something to be excused or just brushed away. It's pretty serious. Certainly, it could have been more serious. But he is 19 years old. He is a young guy that can make mistakes, learn from them, and not repeat them. So I think that's the most important thing now for him is understanding the situation he put himself and other people in Auburn, and making sure he takes steps to not repeat this, because when you start repeating it, then that becomes a really, really big problem, and then you have to worry about his future and how NBA teams and how other people view him. And so I think every 19-year-old, they get second chances. So this is going to be a second chance for Todd Pettiford.
This is what's frustrating. And, we're all parents here, but these kids have got so many advantages now because of their athletic ability. I'm talking about DJ Barber and Todd Pettiford, although those seem to be of different levels. Golly, all you got to do is just handle your business, make good decisions, and you have got so many blessings coming your way. It frustrates me.
It is, and of course DJ Barber is no longer part of the team,
right.
And he's going to face some, I would think, some pretty serious legal implications from, his deal there. That picture of all the stuff that was in that vehicle did not look good for him and his buddy there. And I think with Todd, I don't know this as a fact, but I think most of his discipline will be handled probably internally by Auburn and Coach Pearl and the team. That way maybe there'll be a suspension or something. We'll see. But what comes about here. It happens. It's happened many times in my career. Hopefully this is a road bump for Todd, and it doesn't, go forward into something worse or doesn't get repeated.
Yeah, hopefully you're right. I mean, hopefully there's not anything more serious, and he's fortunate that I guess it turned out how it did. But as we all know, this is going on all over the country. Not to discount what happened with at Auburn, but it's going on all over the place. Unfortunately, we're going to hear other situations like this, whether it is with alcohol or with drugs or whatever it may be. I wonder, does NIL play a part in it? Like, hey, I got a lot of money. I can go do what I want to. I don't know what you need to be selling drugs for if you got an NIL deal, but others, I just wonder if they kind of feel, 10 feet tall and bulletproof because they got some money in their pocket, or a lot of money in their pocket.
Yeah, if I was 19, college student at Auburn, and I was making this money and had one of those, fancy cars, because if you look in the athlete, the parking lot over there, there's some nice cars,
Yes, there are.
So I'd probably want to be cruising around Auburn in that thing. So, yeah.
When I was at Alabama in the 80s, there were some nice cars in the parking lot.
We're not going to talk about that, John. Okay.
Can you imagine? Well, I don't know. We should be talking about Bryan Matthews with a lot of money in college. I mean, he's wearing the flyest members only jacket.
Oh yeah.
He'd be styling.
I'm ready to go.
Oh yeah.
Let's go back a little bit more, and not maybe not any further back than when you were in college, but SEC Media Days as a whole, do you like what it's become? Because you and I both know it is a lot different than it was when you and I first started this thing. You got the monolithic television presence and all that. It basically feels to me like TV programming. Are you comfortable? Is there value still here for what you do at SEC Media Days?
I don't like green eggs and ham, and I don't like the new SEC Media Days. It's not for me. And if I could find a way not to go, I wouldn't. But there is still value to get here. We get you freeze. Usually the hours before he goes on stage. We got him the night before this year, and then there's an opportunity to interview players. And we need we've got 2 weeks until fall camp starts, so this will be a chance to talk to freeze and players, and we won't talk to them again, and probably until July 29th. So it's good to go in there and get some stories and talk about the football team to get us from now until the start of fall camp when we really get into it. So it still has value, but I enjoyed it better back in the day when I'd have a big box of media guides, that would weigh, about 50 pounds, and I'm struggling to walk back to my car, and
kids don't know, Brian. They don't know the struggle.
You've seen the picture of even before me back when they used to fly that old beat up jet around.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard stories.
The Skyriders tour.
Yeah,
not in a million years. I've seen some of those old beater planes. John's an aviation aficionado. So's my wife, Dee. And they look at those planes and they're like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know how they did that. I really must have been a lot of drinking on that plane.
You think?
I would have had to get up on that thing.
I have definitely heard those stories too from the guys back in the day. Yep.
Brian, anything from yesterday with LSU, Ole Miss, South Carolina, and Vandy that caught your attention?
I have not seen or read one thing from yesterday. I apologize. I was in transit up here. Then I went over to the thing with ambush and stuff. So I haven't really followed up on. And I followed the draft.
One moment he was going to say that he was over at the Beyonce concert. Just for a moment, I thought that.
Yeah. He didn't bring his cowboy butcher's cowboy hat. So I will say this, and Barry and I talked about it just a minute ago, Brian. And Auburn is playing an in-state school this season. They played several in their history. UAB, Jacksonville State.
Yeah. Now South Alabama.
Yep.
Brian Kelly was asked about LSU. They've got 2 in-state schools on their schedule
in the first month.
One school in the state will not play an in-state school, and we've talked about this numerous times.
Just saying.
Your thoughts about playing in-state schools in football?
I think me and Longshore actually disagree on something because I think Alabama should play in-state schools. Keep the money in state. Let those kids have a chance to beat the school they dreamed of playing for. Bring a little more excitement to these. These I don't want to say nothing games, but these games, these homecoming type games where you expect to win. Yeah. So I am for playing in-state schools, and I like that Auburn's doing that, and I think Alabama should consider doing that too.
All right.
Well, there is something that we don't agree on, Barry.
Fine.
That's it. That's it.
I got to tell you, when I go to auburnsports.com, 3 things catch my eye. Number 1, the Bryan Matthews byline.
Yeah.
We all can agree on that.
Heck yeah.
But you look up at the top on the banner of auburnsports.com, and you see that Rivals logo and that On3 logo, Brian. Mm-hmm. That's a new deal if people haven't caught on yet. I mean, you're combining forces. How's it gone so far?
It's a marriage made in heaven. I'm over here with Hokinson, Justin. We're here at Atlanta, fixing to go over to SEC Media Days.
Yeah.
We got 6 folks covering the you-know-what out of Auburn, football and recruiting and basketball and baseball. So, I think it's going to be a great thing. If you're into Auburn and you want to get the latest news on what's happening in the university athletic department, I just think Auburn Sports is a great place to check out. We have some absolute pros covering this school.
Sounds great. As always, I know we'll see you around later today here at the College Football Hall of Fame. Certainly, man, we always appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Brian.
Good talk to you guys. Take care.
You too, buddy. Bryan Matthews, auburnsports.com. I want to hear on the chat line, the River Region Straw chat line. Brian did not have a ball cap on today. He usually does.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about in-state schools? Now, I think Auburn might have change their tune a little bit, Barry, if maybe things didn't come out on the right end on that Jacksonville State game.
Oh, my gosh.
If
You
things
think Troy will ever play LSU again?
If things don't go well with South Alabama, that could be a little different.
Yeah.
You know, it's all fine and dandy when you're beating them and all that kind of stuff, but when you're not, it can be a little different.
I'll never forget when Troy won that Missouri game back at the Vet 21 years ago.
Uh-huh.
The next business day, Monday, Iowa State mailed Troy. It was certified. It was overnighted. That buyout check for the game that they were supposed to host Troy in 2005, I think. That is what John's talking about. That is a thing. You start to lose, Gene Stallings once famously told us. He says, you think those games aren't important, you try losing one of them.
Yeah, so, you better believe it. But they're big on Monday if you lose it on Saturday. And you're right, I think with Troy, that's kind of the chance you take. You go beat some people. You beat LSU. You beat Missouri. You beat Oklahoma State, Nebraska. Yeah. They're not about to put you on their schedule. So, I mean, that's the downside of it. But certainly you're wanting to win, and it's been huge for Troy to be able to do that. But I don't know. I'd love to know what fans think about it. Are Auburn fans excited that South Alabama's coming to town? I mean, are you with, let's keep the money in state.
Yeah, if you're going to play somebody, would you rather, does it help this glorious state of Alabama?
But who does it help?
To send money to Mercer?
Yeah.
Or to send money to South Alabama? It definitely helps South Alabama. I can promise you that. That big check?
Sure.
It probably would not. Here's my guess, and I don't know, but it would probably help South Alabama maybe a touch more to have. I remember they played a few years ago against UCLA out in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
They probably got a pretty good. Was that South Alabama? I think it was. It might have been Alabama State. I know Alabama State played them out there.
I think South Alabama did too.
Playing them would probably mean a little bit more cash because let's be honest, and you've said this before, I would guess, and I'm not speaking for Brent Jones, he might give Auburn, he might give Alabama a little price break on being able to have him.
Well, I think you would because just there again, the notoriety, the publicity would be huge for them. I don't think it's going to be that much for Auburn or Alabama. When South Alabama rolls in, Auburn's not going to get any benefit out of that. But, should Auburn be responsible for sending a check back down to Mobile? I mean, I don't think that's what they're in the business of doing, particularly in this day and age of college athletics. So why you want to send a check and keep it in state to help a in-state team grow their program? What? I mean, is that what you're in the business of doing? No, you're growing your own program.
And you want to grind them in the dust and choke all the life out of them so they don't, I don't know, what are you saying? So they don't grow and start recruiting your players from you?
Yes.
Or maybe
taking your fan base away.
Taking your fans away?
Yeah.
Is that the concern?
Season ticket holders.
Boy, I don't know. I've been an Alabama football season ticket holder for 50 years, but man, I like the cut of that South Alabama jib. What do you say we switch? Is that a major concern?
I've said for years, amateur college athletics is a business.
And you want to absolutely snuff them out. You want to grind them into the dirt to where all that's left is just a pair of athletic shoes and a mouthpiece. You know, that's what you want.
That's right. I mean, I don't see the people at McDonald's inviting Burger King over. Hey, come on over. We want to help you out a little bit. Yeah, we know that double Whopper's not doing real well. Come on over. We're going to help you out. What's happening?
I remember when Jim Henson passed away. You know, the guy who got the Muppets?
Mm-hmm.
Jim Henson passed away. He had some sort of a bacterial infection.
Ooh.
He died at a youngish age.
Yeah.
And Disney came out with a cartoon, a drawing, black and white drawing of Kermit the Frog sitting on a log.
Yeah.
And Mickey Mouse had his arms around him.
Yeah.
What is wrong with that?
Yeah. Well, in time, like that, when something happens, a death or something like that, you'll see businesses, reach out and react and share their, their condolences and things of that nature. But in the day-to-day business world, no. And I know well, then why are you playing Eastern Illinois? I wonder the same thing. I'd wonder the same thing. But I guess you got to put some tomato can on the schedule because everybody's got to play some weak games because they think it's easier on the team. Look, I saw an Alabama quarterback blow his knee out with a 31-point lead.
Against Western Carolina.
It can
Nobody
happen.
touched him.
It can happen. So play 12 great guys. You can't play 12 Michigans every week. Why not?
How about this for alternating viewpoints? Just follow up on Bryan Matthews' commentary about Tahad Pettiford, arrested for DUI, suspicion of DUI. Our buddy Curtis, he says Pettiford didn't do anything that any other college kid is not doing. He's 19, underage. He has a lower blood alcohol content limit than an adult when getting pulled over. Now, number one, every college kid ain't drinking and driving. I do take exception to that. Number two, are we comparing blood alcohol contents? Is that what we're doing? Well, it's not as bad if it's not as much. Once you get past a certain level,
I'll say
it's basically all the same.
So what if every other college kid's doing it? Doesn't make it right.
Right.
Just because they're doing it,
there
again. And if they all jumped off a bridge, should he jump off it too?
And plus, I promise you, every college kid ain't doing it.
No.
But on the other side, you got our buddy Tobias, who said all Pettiford had to do was call an Uber.
True.
I bet Auburn has a rideshare program for their athletes.
Yeah.
It's a good thought. Bet they do. Does he want to end up like Henry Ruggs?
Well, you're right. Everybody thinks about that.
And Bryan made that point. He said, it's not a good thing. It's a bad mistake to make. Could have turned out worse. Yeah. Yes, it could.
Well, you're right. It certainly could have. Now, in terms of blood alcohol level,
once you get past a certain level,
it doesn't matter how old you are.
Yeah, no kidding.
I knew a lot of guys at 19 that had real tolerance for that. Their alcohol level didn't even show up.
Yeah.
But come on, Curtis, you know better than that. Tobias, okay, you're right, Tobias, with the Uber.
Call an Uber, or have a friend call an Uber.
Yeah.
If you got a friend, doesn't even have to be that great of a friend.
Sure.
They'll call you an Uber. We are live at SEC Football Media Days at the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta. Lots more to get to in just a moment. In association with Yellowhammer News, it's Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light.
Did you know that Dixie Electric Plumbing and Air service fee is good for 30 days for all 4 trades? That's right. If we service your home's electric, plumbing, HVAC, or garage doors, we will come back within 30 days for any of the 4 trades at no additional cost to you. A licensed and trained Dixie technician will service your home with our signature warehouse on wheels, and all work will be backed by our 100% satisfaction guarantee. What are you waiting for?
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information. Local banking expertise, the newest innovations and technology, personal attention, genuine hospitality. It's all just part of the Riverbank and Trust difference. They invite you to experience it for yourself. Welcome to banking above and beyond at Riverbank and Trust. Locations throughout the River region, locations throughout the state of Alabama. Riverbank and Trust.
Don't you like just the energy this
yeah.
morning. You know, I have never been, you and I have done morning radio for decades and decades. I can't say that I'm a morning person. You know, if
Really?
we got the day off, if it's Saturday and I don't have a ball game or something, I'm sleeping late. I am. And you
What's
can
late
say,
for you?
like this past Saturday, it was glorious. I didn't have anything for the D and I didn't have anything for the whole day. I slept until 10.
Wow.
But what I like, you and I, among the many things here,
Yes.
you and I people watch.
Oh yeah. It's the best part of it.
Yeah, the members of the media is a cross section of America. It really is. I mean, we're just the same schleps as you see in Walla Walla, Washington, or taxi drivers in Des Moines, Iowa. But you can tell the morning people from the non-morning people because, number one, they're around that coffee. Like I said, the coffee service is right there. They got breakfast right here. Man, I would love to be able to just run in there and snatch a beignet or something. But the people that are in that I don't trust, to be honest with you, that are in, you know, bouncing on the balls of their feet. Oh boy, here we go. It's 6:30 in the morning, and then you got these other guys. Normally, they're older guys. Normally, you know, you can tell that they've lived a hard life. You know, I mean, a lot of late night deadlines, a lot of banging on the typewriters, and SEC stadiums at 10:30 in the morning trying to beat that 11 o'clock deadline, and then afterwards they ain't going straight to bed.
No, they're not.
If you know what I mean.
No,
so you can see those guys. Here comes one right now.
Yeah.
But you can see those guys, and you're thinking, man, this is a struggle for them. And you can pick them from a ways off. You know, they've got a little black cloud over their head. And they're like, oh,
see them a mile away. You're right about that.
It's a true cross section.
I'm with you there, Barry. I on Friday sometimes I go to bed. Oh, this is gonna be great. Not getting up early.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, I might 45 minutes at tops, an hour might be at the most, longer than I would sleep during the week. I don't know what it is. I guess my body clock is just set that I got to get up. And then I'll go, well, what am I doing now? You know, so it is kind of aggravating. What I think I need is some really dark curtains to keep it dark in my bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would really help.
Yeah.
Because when the sunlight breaks through, then things get a little dicey.
Yes.
So I hear what you're saying there. So maybe this Saturday shouldn't have much going on. Then we'll see how it goes. All right. So at the top of the next hour, which is getting close.
Yes.
Travis Ryer on YouTube, Talking Tide. We'll get his thoughts about SEC football media days. Day 1 is in the books. Day 2 is about to kick off. We'll get his thoughts about that. Of course, Kalen DeBoer and the Crimson Tide will be here tomorrow here with Mississippi State, Florida, and Oklahoma.
Again, I want to get a good sense for everybody, a good perspective for everybody. We are on the second floor of the College Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Right in front of us, game-worn jerseys from Heisman Trophy winners. It's not just the SEC. This is the College Football Hall of Fame. Let's see. That is Barry Sanders' jersey. That is Danny Werfel's jersey. That's Robert Griffin III's jersey. The Nebraska number 15. That's Tommy Frazier, who was not a Heisman Trophy winner. 95 maybe?
Well, I think the box says 97.
Okay. But he's a College Football Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. To me, one of the top 3 players in college football who never won a Heisman. So you got all that.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's great stuff all the way around. Theodis asked a question earlier. Is it just jerseys? No, they got a bunch of stuff. Interactive stuff, downstairs where the print media is, and there's hundreds of them. Many of them are the people we were just talking about. I mean, they are mainlining coffee down there. If they could, believe me, if they could get one of those hospital drips, on the little hook with the steel hook and everything with coffee in it or caffeine, they would. And there's space down there for about 250 or 300 of them. It looks as though Yeah, John McDade is talking
Yeah.
right now. In other words, there's a lot going on here on our area, the upstairs room. We can look down on it because we're ringing around there.
Mm-hmm.
There must be 150 radio stations, podcast stations, things of that nature up here, and weaving through, all of the jerseys and all the displays and all of the tables and all the lights and all the cameras. I just saw Keldrick Falk up here. Is probably going to be visiting with a couple of people up there. We are. This is the aspect of it where we fly by the seat of our pants. Where we might motion to somebody and get them in, but we do have several guests scheduled as well. And I like the energy so far.
Oh, you better believe it.
Today it's Auburn. It's Georgia in the morning. Tennessee and Texas this afternoon. And I'll buy into the hype a little bit. I may hang around this afternoon. We got work to do up here.
Yep.
We'll record some things with some guests for later use. But even if we didn't have responsibilities this afternoon, I would hang around just to see the Arch Manning
That's right.
stuff. Because you and I have seen it before. We saw it with Peyton. We saw it with Tebow. We've seen it with Tua.
Yep.
We've seen it, and I fully anticipate this may beat them all. Tebow was crazy.
I think
Peyton was crazy. This is a little bit more unique because he's not played very much.
Well, he had.
And those other guys were 2-year starters. He hasn't been a starter, but maybe a game.
I wonder if that
when Ewers was hurt.
I wonder if that puts undue pressure because he hasn't played a lot, and there's a lot expected of Arch Manning this fall. There again, he comes from a great family. I think he can handle the pressure. So much worried about that, but he's playing in a big program at Texas, and if things don't go right, we'll see. They open up at Ohio State. And
how about that for easing into your first year as a starter?
But Barry, as well as I do, if they go to Columbus and they win that game, and Arch has a lot to do with that win. Heisman Trophy front runner.
All he's got to do is tread water afterwards. But then again, they go to the Horseshoe and they lay an egg. 27-10, 31-14, something like that.
Trouble.
There's the other side of all that hype. Because people, I don't know which the media or which the fans prefer more. Pumping up somebody or tearing somebody down. Because we'll see. Because Manning, everybody says he's a very good student, very good kid. He has not been much of a drain at all, if any, on Texas's massive NIL. Not that he needs it, but, this is supposedly just a great kid. Really, 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 really good football player, they tell us. But, man, his missteps will be magnified. His successes will be magnified. Hopefully he has more successes early than he has mistakes.
Yeah, I think that's going to be interesting, and I'm sort of looking forward to getting a little glimpse of that as well. As you mentioned, throughout the day today, we will be here at SEC Media Day. Several interviews we've got scheduled, more as well that we'll have for you throughout the rest of the week and in the coming weeks. Because let's face it, it's kind of like Christmas, Barry. You get to SEC Football Media Days, everybody's here. It's all the talk, all the hype. Everybody's going crazy. And just not to be Debbie Downer, but you're going to go through a little down cycle after this. We're going to go through a period where, where's all the hype? Because it'll be a couple of weeks before preseason camp starts, and then once preseason camp gets here, you're not going to hear anything unless you know somebody that has access to a Saturday afternoon scrimmage.
Yes. And all of these, and believe me, Arch and Keldrick and Jackson, they're going to hear all of the questions.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again. And that would get on my nerves. And I'm a pretty easygoing guy, But then after all the adulation, after all the whining and dining, because they're going to be fed really, really well, people like Jackson and those guys are going to be, have been to the ambush and they've been fawned over. But you don't necessarily carry that into preseason camp,
Sure.
which is the worst.
Yep.
All of a sudden, you're doing up downs, and you've got cut grass all over you, and you're sweating like an absolute hog, and
not fun.
Not fun. This is the fun part, but sooner or later, the rubber has got to hit the road.
Hey, our man Travis Ryer on YouTube Talking Tide, joining us here as he does each and every week. And of course, we're here live at SEC Football Media Days, and want to get Travis's take on what he has heard and seen so far. Good morning, Travis. How you doing today?
Doing great. How are you guys?
We're doing really well. I can hear sounds of the road behind you. So obviously, you're not in metropolitan Atlanta right now because you're moving.
Exactly. No, I am not in Metro ATL, but looks like you guys are set up nicely. I love the setup there. It's very very professional, dare I say.
You know, we've thought before that if we can throw out nice banners and, you know, decent equipment and everything, it might fool the viewer and listener into thinking we're actually classier and smarter than we really are. It's worked for us for years.
It has. And, you know, Travis.
AKA fake it till you make it, right?
That's us. That ought to be our tagline.
I got a text from my wife, Travis. She goes, duct tape? Really? And I went, well, how else are we going to get it to stick up there?
You guys should have flown in Pops as your studio engineer. You know, he could have. He could have rat tied all that stuff in about 20 minutes. You know?
Hey, Travis, they're at the karaoke in the bar at the hotel tonight.
Yeah. He would take that over. I don't think there's any.
We missed it. You know, some people. What is it they say in Christmas Story? Some people work in watercolor, some in clay. Pops works in duct tape and zip ties.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would have been
absolutely.
All right, Travis, you have been at this event before for many, many years, and I was looking at some of the Alabama players who have represented the Tide down through the years. Everybody from Todrick Malone to Roger Schultz to Toby Shields, back in the day when it was a lot smaller of a scale. Do you like what SEC Media Days has become, and does it serve really a purpose for all of us other than the SEC network and the live TV people?
Yeah, I'm like you guys. I go back to the old, I didn't do the Skyriders. Okay, I'm not Kirk McNair. I'm not of that ilk. That is a particularly prestigious and unfortunately dwindling group. But I do go back to the Sheridan, there in downtown Birmingham. I still am sort of in that boat of I love what SEC Media Day symbolizes, which is the rapid approach of another season. But as far as a work event, in terms of what you could kind of get from it, it's better than nothing. I'll be nice and say that. It's better than nothing. And
I'm with you.
We've had some really wild things happen at SEC Media Days in the past. Think about Phil Fulmer. It's always at least been fun, I guess.
And Travis, maybe we just got hit so hard with the news that Oklahoma and Texas were coming into the league. They were going to a 12-team playoff. That happened in 1 year, and we're kind of going, man, now if that stuff happened every year we were at Media Days,
heck yeah,
man, that'd really be awesome. But I'm with you. You've been around it a lot. Obviously, Barry and I have as well, but it does kind of signify that start of the season. It got going yesterday with LSU, Ole Miss, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt. And I thought it was interesting. I did not realize that Brian Kelly has yet to win his opening game as the head football coach at LSU. Also, Ed Orgeron and Les Miles had won a national title going into their fourth season at LSU. Brian Kelly is not.
Pretty amazing stats. Now, I'll say this for Brian Kelly, 2 of those openers were against Florida State when those were pretty good teams. But kind of hard to defend a last year's season opening loss to pretty much a 500 USC team out in Las Vegas. And they schedule up in these openers. There's no doubt about it. I mean, going on the road to Clemson this year, but it's still, I think, very important for the tone of that sort of situation with him at this point in his tenure to maybe go into Death Valley East, as I call it, and get a win over what a lot of people are thinking is going to be a college football playoff team in Clemson. It should be a great matchup of quarterbacks for sure.
No doubt. I've got to ask you this, just to get you on the record with us. Yesterday, former Alabama quarterback Greg McElroy said he believes that Nick Saban will coach again. Boy, he could have lit an M80 in the print room, and it would not have created a bigger splash. What do you think?
Yeah, it was interesting because we heard that from Greg, and then I think it was Lane not that long after that was like, yeah, I think he's coaching again. So kind of made me connect some dots on who this great source might have been.
Yeah.
I think there are people who still feel that way. I mean, coaches, they're just hard to get out of the helm. I mean, the only way I don't know, maybe it could happen in college football again with revenue sharing coming in because it's going to be essentially like pro football, but
no doubt.
So the NFL doesn't seem to sit there as a standalone option if you were to come back, but he wasn't crazy about the setup in the National Football League either.
No, he
liked
wasn't.
recruiting the way recruiting was. He got 25 first-round picks, is I think the way he viewed it each and every year. And it's going to become more of a prioritized sort of situation in all likelihood with a number that you're working with similar to the NFL. He loves the game. I just think the setup he's got right now still emulates coaching to a large extent, simulates it from a standpoint of he's still got an office there at Bryant-Denny Stadium. He's still breaking down tape all week in advance of his work with ESPN. And he hadn't had to deal with all the stuff that we thought he wasn't a big fan of.
Am I buying into the hype? Because I've never been a believer in Shane Beamer. I think he's been a big talk, hadn't been able to deliver, had a good year last year, ended up beating Clemson. He's got a great quarterback in Lennar Sellers. Like how the schedule plays out. One of the little telltale signs I picked up on yesterday, he was talking about, well, we got a new kicker, a new punter, and our return guys are all new. I'm thinking, okay, big deal. What about the meat of your team? Seems like everything's in place for South Carolina to have a really good year, and I kind of like how their schedule sets up for them as well.
Yeah, I like their schedule too, and I think that South Carolina, in terms of its floor, maybe moving forward, is going to be similar to what we've seen over the last decade plus with Mark Stoops at Kentucky. I'm still not all the way there with South Carolina as a year in, year out legitimate challenger for the 12-team playoff. And even if it goes to 16, I'll need to see more. But in terms of how they're set up right now, yeah, I mean, it's set up very nicely for South Carolina. But again, I just think sustaining that year in and year out at South Carolina could prove difficult, kind of, again, like what Mark Stoops has encountered at Kentucky. I mean, if Mark Stoops left Kentucky today, there probably should be a statue of him outside Kroger Field. But, I think Beamer's definitely capable of sort of meeting that sort of standard on a year in and year out basis. But, again, I draw that comparison because it seems like Kentucky every other year has that type of team. South Carolina right now, 2-3 years ago, finished similar in a way to it did last year, but then the following year didn't really back it up, didn't stack one on top.
Correct.
That's what I'm interested to see with Shane Beamer.
Yep, me too.
Tomorrow morning, Alabama comes in. Kalen DeBoer, Tim Keenan, Deontay Lawson, Caden Proctor. I did some research. Out of 16 teams, 16?
Yep,
16 teams in the SEC. Alabama is the only school that isn't bringing a skill position player to SEC Media Days. He wants to take care of those linemen and give them some love. Do you read anything into that, Travis?
I think it's hopefully a good thing that Caden Proctor's going to be there because I'm on record as believing that this offseason was as big for him and maybe Alabama's offense as any other aspect of that side of the football, quarterback included, because, it hasn't quite reached that point of his maximum potential. Now, he had that sort of hiccup between his freshman and sophomore year that kind of cost him an off season with the Iowa deal and then back to Bama, and and then he had the sort of limited spring, very limited spring that he just had this off season. I really want to see this guy, at the level that he can reach. And so, yeah, I think the most unexpected guy is probably Deontay Lawson, because without the injury, he's probably moved on to the professional ranks. So it's a good group. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting that, you don't have a superstar with you in Ryan Williams. But you know what? We see and hear from these guys year round now. It used to be we would have to wait until this week to really hear from the stars. With their brands being what they are, with their own YouTube channels, with their own production setups, it's kind of media days for all these guys. A lot of the top guys anyway, year round.
Sure. Let me jump back to Shane Beamer, but insert Lane Kiffin in there as well. Frustration. Can I maintain this? They missed out on the college football playoff, had a horrible loss at home to Kentucky last year. A lot of hype about their quarterback in Oxford this season. And there again, I think their schedule is kind of favorable as well. But if Ole Miss falls short, or maybe, they don't have as many wins as Kiffin thinks that they should, do you see a time where he just says to himself, I can't win here consistently. I just cannot compete with Texas, Georgia, Alabama, whomever. I just can't get it done. Do you see him moving on? I mean, I've made this, I know it's outlandish, but, if Lincoln Riley doesn't make it in Southern Cal, do the Trojans give Kiffin another shot out in L.A.?
I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility. There's been enough time between that tenure and then what he's really become. He was obviously dealing with a lack of maturity in that period of his career that he seems to have reached. So it's almost like an entirely different guy. And, he has sizzle to his name. And, you add that back to SC, and SC's rebounding pretty nicely right now on the recruiting trail. It looks like, right there at the top of the 2026 rankings. I don't know. I don't see Lane in the National Football League. So, you got to think it's got to be one of the elite jobs. He's got it pretty well set for himself at Ole Miss. I think he does realize that. But there could always be the allure, again, of an SC, or I would have to think it would be more of the West Coast or the SEC. And I don't know where he really moves to if it's the SEC.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, it was interesting. They kept asking him, and if I was him, I'd be a little bit tired of it by now. They kept asking him yesterday when he was up about Nick Saban stories, what it was like working for Nick Saban, and he told the story about they won the national championship, and they had a 7:30 staff meeting the next morning after the national championship game. Somebody asked him if it was true. He said, yeah, it was true, because Coach thought, we're behind in recruiting. We've been playing for a championship, and everybody else has been recruiting. He said, yeah, that was really true. Can you confirm that? I mean, because that's nuts. That's crazy, right?
I mean, there's confirmed stories of Nick Saban on the phone less than a half hour after beating LSU in New Orleans for a national title. So,
this could be you. Hey,
Yeah, and it speaks to how, some guys are wired that way and some aren't, because, that's essentially the type of approach that resulted in Urban Meyer having to take a break from Florida, before going on to Ohio State. If you kind of, read into his story and how it worked for him, especially there at the end at UF, he was doing those kind of things too. And it'll eventually take its toll on pretty much anyone. But if there's one coach that seemed to be a little bit immune to that, it was Nick Saban.
Well, this is one of the corollaries of being on camera instead of the old days when we were just on radio. Even as a guy who grew up and went to school at the University of Florida, family full of Gator fans, if you had mentioned Urban Meyer's name and I wasn't on TV, I would have reached over and made a spitting motion onto the ground and crossed myself. As as a Jags fan too, so I can't do that right now. With the mention of his name.
Yeah, it's interesting with the Florida fam I've got. I've got some Florida graduates in the family, and you ask them about Urban, it's a mercenary situation with them. It's like he came in, he did what we wanted him to do, won a couple of natties, but in their eyes, he'll never be on that sort of realm of certainly Steve Spurrier, Tebow, some of those guys that have gone through there. He was pretty much a hired gun to them.
Well, speaking of a Spurrier, Travis, that's who I miss at SEC Media Days. I mean, Spurrier, he was the best.
That's the thing when you look at this lineup this year, especially, you're like, I guess Lane, you can get some good stuff out of him. I think Drake, Missouri will give you some of that.
Yeah.
He's pretty undervalued in that regard, but no. And as far as a cast of characters in the coaching roster right now, it's feels pretty NFL right now.
You talk about Spurrier, and you talk about Urban Meyer, and you talk about Nick Saban and several others. There were times at SEC Media Days, there were multiple coaches here that had won national championships.
Yeah,
Kirby Smart's the only one here that's done that. So league's got to step it up a little bit in those terms.
Yeah, and especially what the Big Ten's done the last couple of years. So it is. It's on that next group. It's on the Kalen DeBoers and the next guys. It's on Steve Sarkisian. And really, there's no reason why it shouldn't happen. I mean, you look at the teams this year: Georgia, Texas, Alabama, Brian Kelly at LSU. It's a big year. Billy Napier. There's going to be expectations for him and DJ Lagway, but that schedule is still so brutal. Ooh. Even with it flipping in the home games in Gainesville this year. It's a lot of it is too. I mean, the league makes it hard on itself.
It does.
It does. Good
Always
point.
Great to hear from you, Travis. We appreciate it. Ryer on YouTube. I know that you've gotten a couple of things this week already in the can. What's the rest of the week look like for you in terms of content?
Yeah, we'll have an SEC Media Day sort of recap Thursday night on Ryer on YouTube. Brent Beard will join me for that on Second Helping. We got NFL training camps getting ready to crank up too across the league. So probably some Jags / NFL content. And then Chase Goodbread will be back on with me soon on the channel. And of course, we'll be talking about the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Just go to YouTube, check out Travis Ryer. Ryer on YouTube. Search for it, subscribe to it. It's great content, just like it is with us.
And maybe a new Milwaukee Bucks show coming soon because the oldest daughter just took a job up in Brewtown with the Bucks. So she's moving on from the NFL to the NBA. So I don't know. I guess I got to get some regalia.
Congratulations to her.
Banger the Buck on it or something.
I love
it. I guarantee. Here's what I'm viewing. I'm viewing, if they ever have like an NFL symposium or a conference or something like that, and some of them decide to go out and have a 3-point shooting contest among NFL staff members. She's my girl.
Yeah,
she's my girl. I'm going to the ATM and I'm putting money on her.
Yeah, she can use that. She could use that money on a nice parka for where she's headed.
Yeah, you can have that. Yeah, appreciate it. Hey, thanks very much, Travis.
See you guys.
Everybody, see you next week. Travis Ryer on YouTube, Talking Tide. Getting some insights from Travis. We're here live at SEC Football Media Days 2025. Day 2 is underway. We're going to keep you covered with everything going on. I'm going to take a quick time out here from Atlanta and back with more.
He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight Live in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Local banking expertise, the newest innovations and technology, personal attention, genuine hospitality. It's all just part of the Riverbank and Trust difference. They invite you to experience it for yourself. Welcome to banking above and beyond at Riverbank and Trust. Locations throughout the River region, locations throughout the state of Alabama. Riverbank and Trust. Okay, welcome back in. Glad you are with us here. It is about 26 minutes past the hour here in Atlanta for SEC Football Media Days 2025. A lot of great chats coming through on the River Region chat line. Really appreciate all that communication. No doubt about it. Appreciate everybody giving us their thoughts about, well, the unofficial start of the college football season. And people say that, Barry, but I want to warn people about the lull that'll happen after this big event. And everybody gets all excited, and then it's a little lull, and then we get back up for the start of the season, which is August
the
30th.
August 30th, I think, in the SEC. Let me get my handy dandy thing out here. August 30th. And it's almost unfair because you got everybody excited about it, everybody amped up about it, and you're starting to get arguments. You can't tell me that, and then you got to basically satisfy yourself with, hey, what are you hearing from fall camp? Oh, I hear this guy. The very first game is in 5 weeks. It is August the 23rd. It's the Aer Lingus Classic from Dublin.
Correct.
Iowa State versus Kansas State, 11 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what time that is in Ireland.
I think it's like a 5-hour difference, maybe. 5-6 hour difference.
Will you be watching?
Who's playing again?
Iowa State and Kansas State. That's
No.
the start of the football season. That's when it begins. And John's like, nah,
No.
I don't think so.
The
Not
start
gonna
of the
do it for
football
me.
season, Barry, is Texas and Ohio State,
Yeah.
Alabama and Florida State.
Oh, yeah.
Who else am I missing?
That is actually the week of Labor Day weekend, which actually will begin on that Thursday. Friday, August 29th, Duke's Mayo Bowl, App State and Charlotte from Bank of America Stadium.
No. They are certain. I mean, I'm just going to be, completely honest.
You always are.
You've
been famous for that.
Some people say maybe I shouldn't be as honest. There are going to be some games I'm just not going to pay a lot of attention to unless it happens to be the Phantom's Daily Dog.
Yes.
Which I know what you're thinking. Where's the Phantom's Daily Dog? If you didn't hear us yesterday, after our 4-1 week last week.
Yes.
And, think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Have there been many losing weeks with the Phantom's Daily Dog, particularly since the start of the NBA playoffs? No, I don't think so. So you should be all over that because you could have made some money. But now that we're at the All-Star break, Barry.
Yeah.
there's really nothing to wager on. I mean, could we wager on the All-Star game tonight, American against the National League? I guess if you want to, but we're not. So we're taking about a week's hiatus, taking a little break from the Daily Dog. I know what people are going, well, I can't handle it, Phantom. No way. I got to have some action. No, you don't. You don't have to have action every night.
Some people are looking at it. Are you crazy?
In the sporting
is he taking is he taking crazy pills? I mean, there are games that are being played, and I'm not supposed to play them. I'm going to try and do this.
We're not going to get any WNBA out of me. You're not getting any soccer out of me. Now we do have the British Open. Maybe I come with the British Open action.
Well,
we'll see.
Let's try this. Here's a little perspective here.
Okay.
Here's a little perspective. This is this is us right here.
Yeah.
These are everybody from one side, everybody from the other side back there. These are all radio stations and digital drive. Down here, let's see, how am I doing this? Down here. There we go.
There you go. There you go.
These are the print media down here. They're below us. There's nobody there. He just got done with John McDade. Here's the big screen up there where he was showing clips of games and infraction. I mean, things that they called and all that kind of stuff. So up here, you've got the media doing shows. You got them over here, now, back behind us.
Of course, Barry.
All the way back over there, you see the backdrop of the second story. There are radio stations back there. There are radio stations over here, down here at the bottom.
Now, Chris the Bammer's just screaming to the television screen. Where's PM?
Over here is the SEC network is down there. We have been looking, and there are the ink stain wretches downstairs. We've been looking. I mean, Auburn's Hugh Freeze has already been down there. I don't think the players have yet. We're on Phillip watch.
Yeah.
Do not see him. So anyway, that's a look at kind of the way around us using my cell phone as
pretty cool.
As a perspective there, just in what we're all going around. Now, later on, I haven't seen any Georgia people. The only real Auburn presence I've seen up here has been Keldrick Falk. Normally, before 8 a.m. is the only time they get a chance, because then they got to go through all the other media, all the scheduled media. When they're done with that, a lot of them will come upstairs, and that's when Longshore and McKnight will try our best to get somebody, and we'll record them for later on and all that kind of stuff. Same thing tomorrow. Alabama is in the morning, and if you're going to get them, you better get them early, and a lot of times they won't do it. Alabama has a history of not doing it until afterwards, which is probably the way I would do it.
Yeah, with players, they're pretty good with the players. They'll send some players around, and last year in Dallas, maybe I was in the right place at the right time, but Kalen DeBoer popped out of a door about as far away as that one is right there, and my friend Aaron Jordan, who's with SID at Alabama, looked at me and I said, yeah, come on. And
how many millions of times in his life has John said, yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm sitting on G, waiting on
O. That's exactly right. In a lot of different contexts.
Yes.
So we'll hopefully get some of that. A lot of that stuff will benefit you hopefully later on in the week. But we're just to give you a 360 of everything around here that we're looking with and dealing with.
I wonder, Barry, can you kick field goals, when everybody's not here? And where did they get that goalpost? Because look at, Barry, that thing's a little worn, a little dirty. I mean, take a look at that thing. I mean, you would think it'd be spit, shine, polished.
No. It's got to be game worn. Like these jerseys are game worn and stuff like that.
And I don't think the uprights are regulation, Bear. Don't they go really tall now like the NFL? See, I'm pointing these things out that the Hall of Fame's got to tighten up with.
I'm telling you, for those of you who know John, who've ever been to his office, his home office or whatever, he used to always like moving his stapler 3 degrees off center.
Oh, did he?
So John's like, look at that goalpost and those clothes, and they smell. it's difficult to be OCD. It's difficult to work with somebody who's OCD.
I'm a little OCD. I'm with you there. But I don't know. I think they could clean those goalposts up a little bit.
Yeah. I do know this. Up there, for some reason, in the big room, there is a landing up there. It's a little porch up there on the second floor. It's Brian Kennedy's skybox. I don't know why. And they got a door there. Yesterday, Kiffin was down there doing his spiel with the media, and some television guy was up there on that landing filming his report. It's a great angle, but Kiffin's looking up at that guy going, hey, can you kind of cut that? I'm here talking to these hundreds of media members and all that kind of stuff. You got to give him
Brian Kennedy.
Yeah. I don't know who he is.
I'm about to say, you got to help me with that.
But he's got his own skybox up there.
Yeah.
Well,
then I need to meet him. I like people with skyboxes, Barry.
That's a good spot. Maybe you can get Lindsay to set up there for you guys. Just make sure there's nobody actually doing press
We were
conference.
here last night. It was 11:15 local time. We went on the air last night. 10:15 back at home base in Montgomery.
Where'd you do it?
We did it actually over there at the Omni because, like I said, a lot of the TV media is over there, so they've kind of got it separated, which is
right.
I know it's cool having it here at the College Football Hall of Fame. Don't get me wrong, but it is a little tight here.
Yeah.
And then they've got it in separate spots. So you got to go from one to the other. That's what I liked about Dallas last year. Everything was in this huge area.
Plenty of room.
There were plenty of room, but it was separated in areas, but it was all there on one level. I'm trying to think how it was in Nashville. I believe it was kind of that way too, if I recall. So I don't know why you got to go.
What was Nashville? I don't remember Nashville. Oh, yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
That was good. I remember that. I remember the whole town being under construction.
Broadway.
I remember two things. It was really inconvenient because, number one, construction all over the place. And number two, everywhere I went in Nashville, they said, do you know Gordon Jr.? I'm like, yeah.
Exactly.
No doubt. All right. All right. So
we were over there last night, and that's when the Beyonce concert let out. So our backdrop was everybody walking down whatever this street is right here.
I know what it is. I just can't think of it. It begins with a M or something. Yeah.
Centennial Park Boulevard or something. Who knows? But but they're not asking me, but that's just the way I kind of saw it.
Yeah.
And I did hear that. I might go into it. I'm still waiting to hear when they're going to make the announcement about next year, where this will take place next year.
Where are your? Is there an unofficial Phantom Daily Dog about where it's going to be? Because Dallas I haven't been to. We've been to Nashville. We've been to Birmingham a million times, and we've been to Atlanta. This is our second time here. Amelia Island is nice. Been there a bunch.
So here's what I don't understand.
Hilton Head.
I heard a rumor, and this is just a rumor. Talking to somebody yesterday that supposedly there was a little inkling, a little rumor that they might go back to Birmingham. I'm thinking, you got to be kidding me. Where in Birmingham are they going to do it? I do get the sense, Barry, that the Atlanta, Nashville, Dallas rotation might kind of
last for a while.
Why not Orlando? Why not New Orleans? Do they feel like people will get distracted and do other things in those towns that they might not do here?
Which was my deal about this, because to me this is a big deal because I'm in the industry. I've been an SEC sports fan my whole life. I know a lot of you can relate. To me, this is a big deal. SEC Media Days. Hey, this is great.
Yeah.
Even though you and I have been doing it for 30 years, it's still, it's still exciting to me. It is small potatoes right now in downtown Atlanta.
Oh.
Major League Baseball All-Star Game tonight, just up the road. Beyonce concert. They had one last night. They'll have one again tonight or tomorrow or something like that, and then they'll finish her run over here at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. If they're worried about it getting swallowed up in Orlando or New Orleans, it is being swallowed up here in Atlanta this week. And that's not bad.
No.
But it is a fact.
It is. I'll be interested to see where they want to branch out. I'm just spitballing. Not that I really want to go there, but, do they go to St. Louis? Do they go to
St. Louis would be a hard no. Everything you've said so far is palatable. I can, that sounds good. St. Louis is a no. Remember when that year, 2017, they had the SEC basketball tournament in St. Louis?
Yeah.
First.
So I don't know. I'd be interested to see where they end up going. All right. So as I mentioned, no Daily Dog this week. It is no baseball out there. Media day.
John actually came up with you don't have to have action every night. I'm thinking that came out of his mouth.
Now, local man wants you to have action every night. He wants you to call him every night. He's telling you turn those machines off. Turn John down. No. We are doing you a favor. It is that simple. All right. When we come back, more from SEC Media Days 2025. Also, Barry, do I see the topic wheel loaded up, ready to go here?
Heck yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I think I do. So, what is in store for us? We will find out when we return.
Longshore and McKnight from SEC Football Media Days in the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
You're not buying sticks, stems, and pine cones. You're buying premium long-diddle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the River region, full of color that will last all season long. Kenny has locations in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn, and no order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. Pickup is available, or your order can be delivered. They can even spread your pine straw if you like. So call or text Kenny today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959 for all of your pine straw needs.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. About 15 minutes or so, 17 minutes or so to the top of the hour. Before we get to Gurn Jr.'s Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel, he is over here at stage left producing the show. Gurn is here with us in Atlanta for Media Days. Is there a topic on the wheel about the All-Star game last night?
No, the home run derby last night.
There it is. Okay. Then I'm going to wait till it pops up, because I had a question about the home run derby.
Yeah.
Do we know who the starting pitchers are tonight for the All-Star game?
Yeah, it's Paul Skeens versus Tarek Skubal.
Skeen versus Skubal?
John loves a funny name in baseball, especially if it's Hispanic.
Skubal dooby-doo. Skubal?
Yeah.
What kind of name is Skubal? Comanche Indian? Ted Nugent. Harry S. Truman. Okay.
All right.
Is Fletch on tonight? I'd love to see Fletch. It's been a while. Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go. It is the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel. We have yet to see these topics.
Yep.
We don't know them. You don't know them. And as soon as they pop up, we'll both know them.
Yeah. We may not know about them, but we'll know them. All brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casinos. Exit 22 off I-85 in Shorter, Alabama. Here we go. Live from SEC Media Days. Selling out.
Selling out. What could this be about?
Oh, yeah. The Rays are going to be sold $1.7 billion.
Jeez.
I would have guessed more along the lines of something Chuck Barris-esque. Like
517.32.
That's what I would think. Something like that. Yeah, a Florida-based developer. They are wanting to move it to Tampa right now. They're the Tampa Bay Rays, and there's a town called Tampa Bay. And they're in St. Petersburg, which is a problem because it's up on the peninsula up there, and it's not easy to get there. They want to keep it. They want to get it in Tampa. He's also a Board of Trustees member at the University of Florida.
Good for him.
Put that money into NIL.
He bought the team for $200 million, and he's selling it for $1.7 billion.
And they ain't drawn flies the whole time he's been there. That's why he's selling it. Go figure. I don't know, but
good return on investment.
This is good news for the Tampa community because they're committed to keeping it in Tampa. It is bad news for the people in Orlando because they really wanted it to move to Orlando. They think it's a better place, more centrally located, easier to get
with
to.
Mickey Mouse? Well, I guess the Orlando Magic.
The Magic is there. So it looks as though that's going to go through, and they're going to stay in Tampa, but they got to build a new stadium, and they got to have civic help. Yeah,
are they going to build a?
The City Fathers in St. Petersburg are not interested. The City Fathers in Tampa are only a little bit interested, but they're more interested than the people in St. Petersburg. So there we go. Selling out.
Selling out. I saw a guy last night, Barry. You see these bicycle guys with the little buggy on the back. They'll drive you around downtown Atlanta.
Yeah.
One of them last night had on a Rays jersey. I went, wait a minute. Even Atlanta's a Rays town. This is beautiful.
I like those. They got those. One of the guys yesterday in front of our hotel, he was buzzing around. He had one of those electric bikes.
Yeah.
With the thing on the back. You're supposed to be able to pedal those things, right? They had those at the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
You can pedal them to your hotel or whatever.
Yep.
I rode cheating that way.
Barry, I rode one a couple of weeks ago. One of these electric bikes when I was in
Mexico City. Yeah.
We were out in the rural part. We were riding around on a little tour, and it really helps when you're going uphill. That electric part kicks in.
Yeah.
It's nice. How about our man Terrence coming to the rescue? Yes, it's Marietta Street.
It is. That's exactly right. Marietta Street, right in the very front. I've been up and down it already, just could not think of the name of it.
Terrence.
It was absolutely shoulder to shoulder and hat to hat with Beyonce fans last night. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. I wonder how many All-Star fans we're going to have tonight.
They're probably not going to be they'll probably all be wearing baseball caps, but it ain't going to be like Beyonce. All right, here we go.
Here we go. What's up next? Let's see what we got. That was a good one to kick things off.
Here we go.
The Rays are staying in Tampa.
Okay. All right.
Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel is going to stop on. Wait a minute.
One of the worst songs in world history.
Yeah, this is the song that broke up Sticks.
It almost broke up the record industry. Robot umpires. Yeah, this is something to look for. I read about this earlier in the week, and that's a good get from Garen. They're going to have computerized ball strikes.
Okay.
Automated strike zone.
No problem.
And there's the formula, and I'm not going to bore anybody with it. 8.5 inch. The automated strike zone, 53.5% of a batter's height, the bottom at 27%, basing the decision on the midpoint of the ball. Snorefest. What you see a lot of times if you were to watch a baseball game on television is you see that mock-up of the strike zone, which I hate. Number one, it takes away from the look of a baseball game. Number two, it's not always accurate. They always put it there, and, he missed it by this much. Well, that ain't necessarily where the rectangle will be. You'll see it tonight. You'll have a chance. I don't think they're going to call every ball and strike that way, but I think you'll have a chance to maybe review it.
And you see, Bill, you're asking about the National League's lack of success in the All-Star game lately, and should I fade them tonight? You can't touch a game, Barry, that computers are all involved with it. I want to gamble on the
with
game.
Some human
the
error.
human element of
Yeah.
it. And if the human element's out of it, oh, wait a minute. Time out. Hold the presses. Not interested.
Unless he screws up something and it costs John the free throw, or hit the field goal or something. And come on now, review. Let's get a review on that. They can't review that?
Come on.
If it hurts the Phantom, then he is not in favor of human umpires.
Got that right.
Let's take a break.
Let's
When
do
we
it.
come back, more of the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel. We are at the SEC Media Days of the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with our clinic and take advantage of our physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solutions service. Experience elevated physical therapy today. Call Phoenix Physical Therapy at 239-9316. That's 239-9316.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Okay, welcome back here live at the SEC Football Media Days 2025. Gus, things kind of wrap it up for our live broadcast. We're going to be on throughout the day. You can always check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, Spotify. We're always there. We got a lot of things that we're going to put in the can today as well. A lot of interviews set up once we get off the live broadcast that we'll record and have for you in the coming days and weeks. Okay. Let's got 4 to go, I believe. 4 more to go. Let's check it out and see what we got here on Gurn Jr.'s Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel. And Big Bomber. Is that Donald Trump?
No. This is the Big Bomber, but more it's the story of the Big Dumper. O'Neal Cruz is a shortstop for the Cincinnati Reds, also plays a little outfield. He's 6'7", and he's crazy. He can run like the wind. A 513-foot home run in the home run derby last night. Cal Raleigh of the Seattle Mariners, a switch hitter, he won it last night. They call him the Big Dumper because his rear end is sizable. This guy right here, O'Neal Cruz, is insanely talented. Does not play for a great team. 513 feet.
I bear. Here's my question.
The major league record, at least anecdotally, was Mickey Mantle, who hit a 565-foot home run against a Washington Senators left-hander in the mid-50s named Chuck Stobbs, I think was his name.
Here's my question.
That's 513 feet.
Why is the guy so close to the mound, and why is he standing on a platform?
Well, number one, he's standing so close to the mound because there's a better chance of throwing a strike. That way you don't have the all-star, the home run derby, turn out to be just a guy throwing a bunch of pitches outside the strike zone everybody's chasing. And number two, he's up on a little platform because that better replicates the angle that the ball comes from a pitcher's hand from the top of the mound. If it's just flat, it's a flat pitch, and it doesn't have any angle, and they're used to at least having a little downward tilt. There you go. All right.
Okay. All right.
You don't sound very enthused by that. You're like, gimmick, sounds suspicious to me.
Yeah. I mean, I've said baseball's a game of gimmicks. That sounds like another one.
Trying to replicate the actual angle and speed of a pitch. Yeah, because that's the other thing is the speed of the pitch as well. Because their reaction time when a batting practice pitcher is throwing 180 miles an hour is thrown off if he's throwing from 60 feet 6 inches. If you move him up a little bit, it feels like that speed of a pitch that a normal pitch would be.
Simple enough.
Here we go.
All right, let's do it again. 3 more to go before the top of the hour.
I think we got it.
Let's spin it, and it's going to land on...
Not suspended. Oh, we're right on the edge. Biggest loser. That guy over there.
Yeah.
You see that guy down there? Oh, man. Dodgers didn't do well in the Major League Draft. The first round was a couple of days ago.
Yeah. I saw Troy had a player drafted.
Troy had 3 players drafted, including Brooks Bryan from Opelika, who was drafted in the 8th round. They also had a pitcher named Noah Edders, who was drafted by the Cubs, I think, 15th round, and another pitcher named Jay Dill, who was drafted by the Athletics in the 18th round. The Dodgers, biggest loser, they ended up having to, they lose their top 30 draft pick in the process because evidently they flouted the team playoff rules or something like that.
No, can't do that.
I think they're still going to be okay.
I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're going to be all right.
Too. Okay.
All right, here we go.
3 more to go. Let's squeeze them in before the top of the hour.
That's like, Alabama getting self-reported for an inadmissible benefit, and the tight ends coach can't recruit off campus for a week.
Yeah.
Big deal. They're going to be okay. Yeah. All right, here we go. Suspended.
And
the other one is who you got.
All right, where's it going to land? The Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel looks like
suspended.
Right.
Oh, I saw this. You remember Teddy Bridgewater?
Oh, yeah.
Played at Louisville, played in the NFL, played for the Saints.
That's right.
He is the head football coach at his high school alma mater, Northwestern High School in Miami, which is a great program, but it's in a depressed area of Miami. Evidently, he spent $70,000 of his own money to help out with travel, to help out with equipment, to help out with uniforms and stuff like that for the benefit of the kids. Here's the deal. In public education, too much of the time, it ain't about the kids. I get it. The Florida High School Athletic Association says if you just hire coaches who can spend the most on the kids, then it becomes a buying spree and everything. I get that. But come on. These guys, helping out. If he was a private citizen, he could donate it.
Sure.
But since he's the football coach, he can't, and he's suspended. Those kids have got equipment and got travel experiences and got uniforms that they never would have had a prayer of getting access to before. Come on now, and he's willing to do it, and it benefits the kids, and it's not illegal, immoral, or fattening. Give Teddy Bridgewater the chance to do that.
What was his nickname? Teddy One Glove or Teddy? He had a nickname.
That one I don't know.
I'm about to Google that one up. All right, 1 more to go.
Here we go.
Got to spin it to make it official here on the Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel on a Tuesday. And it is going to land on, well, we know what it's going to land on.
Who you got?
I got the National League winning. Who you got?
I think the number one, I saw it yesterday. Of course, Scheffler is the favorite. Sure. Then Rory is number 2 in the odds. And whatever the odds are, I bet they're going down because everybody in the British Isles is banking on Rory. Plus 200, according to the UK and Ireland separation in DraftKings Sportsbook. Shane Lowry.
That's a good one. Is Victor Hovland on the list anywhere? I'm a big Victor Hovland fan.
Mick Fleetwood, Tyrell Hatton.
Yeah.
No.
So
they're just thinking with their heads rather than with their hearts rather than with their wallets.
I'm waiting for Range Pro to come out and tell me what he's going with, who he likes, the big favorites before. I know that sounds kind of like cheating, But I'm going to see what Range Pro has to say.
Well, everybody waits to see what the Phantom's got to say. That's not cheating.
Good point.
There we go. Well, a lot of fun today. Great energy around here. We are only just getting started here in our work here in day number 2 of the SEC Football Media Days of the College Football Hall of Fame. For Bryan Matthews, AuburnSports.com, Travis Ryer on YouTube, our producer on site, Kern Jr., John Longshore, Barry McKnight, and it's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.